What's up y'all, Talon here, and today I'm excited to be sharing another series of high-level ranked battles featuring really strong rental teams. This time I have a team that I saw on Twitter. It was used by a Japanese player to get 5-2 at an IRL grassroots tournament called the Tera Square. It's usually a pretty competitive tournament, so the player is able to do pretty well there. Tend to have really strong teams. They did note on the original team they didn't love the Life Orb, Tera Ground, Tera Blast, Flutter main, so I've replaced that with a Gholdengo, which has some similar roles and has been very strong on Tailwind teams of similar nature in the past. One thing I want to note about this team is it is legal, with the Ogerpon being the only new DLC Pokemon. It is legal on the ranked battle ladder on Battle Stadium. The past few teams have only been on casual ladder, but I'm excited to be taking it back to the ranked ladder for a run back this session. If you're interested in the details of the team, they're in the pokepaste below, as well as the rental code if you want to take it to the Battle Stadium ladder yourself. With all that being said, if you enjoy these videos as a resource, the rental codes, the pokepaste, and the battles, please subscribe to the channel. More to come, and I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers in the near future, so any help would be greatly appreciated. And yeah, with that being said, let's get into a breakdown of the team. So starting off, we have the Tornadus, which is going to be the main Tailwind setter on the team. Something notable about this one is instead of a more defensive item, we're running Focus Sash, which lets you run the Tornadus fully offensive, max speed, max special attack. And this is really taking advantage of the fact that Tornadus is naturally faster than Ogerpon by 1 base point. So if an Ogerpon feels safe, they think you're going to be a little bit slower and don't want to go for the Tera, you can bop them with a Bleak Wind Storm and get an early advantage in that respect. For the support move, instead of Sunny Day, this team opts for a Scary Face. So just thinking, okay, the Sunny Day, Tera, Fire, Embody Aspect, Hearthflame, Ivy Cudgels do a ton of damage, but it's kind of overkill a lot of the time. It's more practical to just lower the speeds of your opponent and guarantee you get one hit, and even if you don't knock out, the Pokemon in the back is going to be able to clean up due to that speed drop anyways. As mentioned though, we do have the Heartflame Mask Ogerpon, of course getting a 1.2 times multiplier to all of its attacks. In this case, it's going to be the Ivy Cudgel and the Wood Hammer, so Fire and Grass Stab doing maximum damage. Interestingly enough, there's no Follow Me or setup move like Swords Dance or Focus Energy or a coverage move. We actually have Substitute, which I think is really smart. Having a Pokemon with Substitute and Spiky Shield is just really strong against Tailwind teams for stalling, or not Tailwind, against Trick Room teams for stalling those out. And it also has the secondary effect of making Intimidate not be effective if you get the Intimidate up. A lot of times people will try and cycle in Intimidate to take care of Ogerpon. If you go for a Substitute, they are unable to do that. Moving on to the Gholdengo, which is replacing the Flutter main. If you're testing the team on Showdown, you could consider that Timid, Max Speed, Life Orb, Tera Ground, Flutter main if you wanted to. But because the team creator kind of seemed to be leading against it, I went with a Gholdengo in this slot. The Gholdengo is as standard as it gets. It's got a lot of speed to combo off of the Icy Wind on Iron Bundle to be able to outspeed Flutter main, I believe, when it's at -1. So we are losing on a little bit of power going Timid there, but making up for that for the Tera Steel and the Choice Specs. We have Trick, which can put more defensive Pokemon on the back foot, like if someone goes for a Trick Room on lead against you and you trick them, they either have to switch or use Trick Room again, so that's a pretty cool mechanic there. Next Pokemon is the Urshifu Single Strike, which is actually the reason this team kind of stood out to me, because a lot of these teams, these Tailwind teams sort of just looked like the Hirofumi Life Orb Champao team, but just replacing, I think, the Rillaboom sometimes, or sometimes another Pokemon with the Ogerpon Fire form. This one replaces the Chien-Pao with the Urshifu Single Strike, and I've always loved Urshifu Single Strike on the Tailwind teams just because a lot of teams are built really well to take care of the Surging Strikes from the Water Urshifu, but the Dark type Wicked Blows are not really accounted for in a lot of people's team building, so I think it's a little more effective under the Tailwind turns for taking quick knockouts. The last Pokemon in our trifecta of choice locked Pokemon is the Landorus with the Choice Scarf. Pretty standard outside of the Tera type being a rock, to take advantage of your rock slide, doing a bit more damage, as well as being able to lose your weakness to ice type moves, notably, is really nice, and just also resisting fire type moves against Ogerpon. That's kind of more like a best of one thing, because as soon as they know that you can't Tera into flying, they'll just go for the Wood Hammer and then do super effective damage that way. But yeah, it's going to be pretty cool to see the damage coming out of the rock slide after the Tera. Last Pokemon on the team is the Iron Bundle, which pairs really well with Ogerpon, Urshifu, and Gholdengo, which are all relatively fast but aren't the fastest Pokemon, but after an Icy Wind, they're outspeeding and knocking out everything. So I do like this Iron Bundle. I decided to train it very specially defensive. It's near max special defense, and with a bit of HP investment to be living Choice Specs Dazzling Gleam from Modest Flutter main, so you can get a bit more longevity out of your Iron Bundle that way. So just general game plans for this team. A lot of the time you'll be leading Tornadus plus one of your choice locked item, usually Gholdengo or Urshifu, and then kind of just bringing an Ogerpon, maybe if they go for a Protect on the few last turns of Tailwind, you get a Substitute up and then clean up from there. And that's really the Tailwind game plan, but if you're going against more defensive teams, Iron Bundle, the Freeze Dry Hydro Pump coverage is pretty nice, and you'll pretty much get speed superiority with any of your Pokemon after an Icy Wind, which can be really valuable. Those teams aren't usually well equipped to handle Gholdengo or Urshifu with single strike, so that's going to be your main offensive core, and then kind of wrapping out a Fire Water core defensively, you have the Ogerpon to pair with the Iron Bundle. So with the team broken down, let's now get into the ranked battles. Once again, if you enjoy the videos, please subscribe and let's get into it. Alright, first time in a while we've actually been battling with only a team featuring an Ogerpon or a Loyal 3 or a Sinistra. Those are the only Pokemon that are legal on the ranked ladder as far as I'm aware, due to some weird coding error, but yeah, excited to finally be taking it back to the ranked ladder. We were doing pretty well this season, over a 3-to-1 win rate, which is kind of indicative of what you need to be near the top of the ladder, but just don't have the massive games to be near that high. But yeah, we're getting our first one back against a 227 Japanese opponent, so. Okay, yeah, really cool team from them. We have Urshifu, Chien-Pao, Tornadus, Ogerpon, a Indeedee, and Armarouge. I think our Urshifu is poised pretty well against those two. They do have Dazzling Gleam probably, so something to be aware of there. I think Gholdengo is a pretty decent... outside of their Ogerpon, it's kind of an issue actually. I think I might go Ogerpon on my own to set up Substitute in the face of Trick Room, honestly. I think I do want to be a little proactive about their Ogerpon. That's kind of scary for me. So what I think I'm going to do is go Tornadus, Ogerpon, oddly enough, and then Bundle could be cool. I think I actually like Bundle Urshifu, oddly enough. Like the idea here is I think I want to be prioritizing having a lot of Protects on this lead, just to be able to handle them. Like Focus Sash, Substitute, Spiky Shield, and 3 Protects I think should, even if they go with the Trick Room mode, if I preserve resources well enough, I should be able to stall that out okay. So that's what we're going for here. So they are leading Urshifu, Water, plus Torn. Torn. So that's fine. That's perfectly fine by me. I think I actually like going for Spiky Shield plus... Like, I feel like Protect is a good play for them. I don't know, though. It's hard to... This turn one's kind of tough, actually, because... How can I beat... Yeah, it's a little weird, because if they're Choice Scarf, we could just be in big trouble here. Yeah. Yeah, good lead from them. I didn't really consider how difficult Choice Scarf Ogerpon or Choice Scarf Urshifu would be, given I can't Sunny Day. And yeah, that is what they're going for. And I couldn't even Bleak Windstorm to cover for this, it looks like. So good lead on them. Kind of unfamiliar with how these matchups work out. And I couldn't even Spiky Shield Scary Face because of the ability to break through. So yeah, kind of an issue for me. So it is going to be Surging Strikes into Ogerpon. Yeah, and that's easily going to knock me out. I wish I had Sunny Day on this one. The original team did not have it. They went for a Scary Face set, which definitely makes sense, but in this specific circumstance, Sunny Day would have been a lot better for us. So kind of get wasted that turn, and my Iron Bundle isn't going to fare much better, I don't think. Because, like, do I even go for that? I don't think Choice Band Single Strike Urshifu will actually knock out their Torn, unfortunately, which is a big issue for me. Yeah, so I kind of have to go for Icy Wind, Scary Face, but even that doesn't work out so well for me. Because they'll still hit me with the Bleak Wind and do a ton of damage. They'll have Chien-Pao in the back, which probably sweeps me. Yeah, it's not looking great. And I can't even freeze them. If I was Tera Ice, I could maybe swing a win here, but it's looking pretty bad. Yeah, I think I'll just go Icy Wind, Bleak Wind, try and get as much damage as I can. That did a lot. I think I actually maybe could have knocked out the Torn with Freeze Dry, but if we hit Bleak Wind, it's kind of inconsequential. We do double hit, and we do knockout. So turn 1, oh, we do, speed drop should be consequential, unless they were max speed, but yeah. So Surging Strike's probably not into bundle, but maybe if they're trying to lower my, basically put me in Sucker Punch range, that would have been an option. But interesting spot here. Their Urshifu is not, it's basically going to be picked off by anything, and now they bring in their switch in, which is really the benefit of the Iron Bundle, is that even though we're in a bad spot, oops, Joy-Con Drift brought me down a little further. With this Urshifu in the back, we still could mount a comeback. It's going to be tricky, but it's possible. Ogerpon, okay, that's ideal. Let me run a quick calc. Could go for Tera Ghost. Icy Wind is not going to knock them out, unfortunately. I feel like I lived the Ivy Cudgel, honestly. I went for potentially an odd play here. I'm going for Tera Ghost onto the Iron Bundle because Wicked Blow should knock out their Ogerpon even if they have a considerable amount of bulk. So this means I'll live a Wood Hammer and potentially be able to 1v1 a Chien-Pao in the back, which is like reasonably likely. But I could also have just like Wicked Blowed the Urshifu and protected, which is maybe a little safer. But we do outspeed, so they're probably bulky enough to live. Yeah. Close combat would have gotten it, but I guess this is fine because, well, I don't know. We'll see. At this point, it's looking a little rough if they're Chien-Pao in the back and pretty good if it's anything else. So it is Chien-Pao, which means we're now Sucker Punch food for them. How much does Sacred Sword do? Wicked Blow isn't going to knock them out. If I locked into close combat, I might have a better shot. Yeah, Wicked Blow's at 2 at KO. And Sacred Sword doesn't actually knock me out. That's pretty relevant. Yeah, I'm going to go for Protect and Wicked Blow. And I think outside of a crit Sacred Sword or them being a Life Orb, we should, or like Bandit or something, we should be fine. They do make the read. And it brings us down to 1 HP. So they were Life Orb and we just barely lived. Wow. Okay. Okay. We get the crit. I think Freeze Dry should be enough to bring them down to Life Orb range. But it's going to be a little close. Well, if they attack, they have to attack Urshifu. Freeze Dry to Chien-Pao. If I'm like 0 special attack, which I am, it does 20% to 26. I think I'm going to risk that. I think because of Life Orb, they should drop. They do cancel the battle, which I think Well, they don't know my investment on the Iron Bundle, but yeah, that was really lucky. I think the proper play there was actually Icy Wind Wicked Blow, because if they Sucker Punch me, and I'm already banking off living the Sacred Sword anyways, then I get the speed advantage, I get an Icy Wind off, and I potentially don't get knocked out on Urshifu. If they go for Sucker Punch, and then the next turn I just knock them out anyways because I was expecting to live the Sacred Sword. So I think I actually did make a pretty big mistake that turn in giving them the opportunity to hit that Sacred Sword. Yeah, so good game to them. I think I kind of made a mistake there. Let me run the calculation on the single strike form against Chen Pao. Yeah, if they were Jolly Life Orb, they got like pretty close to Mineral, and I lived, so unfortunate for them, very fortunate for me. Made a misplay and kind of got bailed out for it. But it turns out making the making that play, like making the Tera Ghost, was actually correct because of how the game played out. They also had a bulkier Ogerpon than I was expecting, so yeah, good game to them, but definitely room for optimization on our part. And next we have a team from Orange Steve. I believe this was pretty similar to Freeze Eye's team, which he made a pretty solid video about his day one performance with this team, but yeah, I don't think it stands up so well against Ogerpon. No Intimidate, Abomasnow, Heatran, etc. We don't have Taunt anywhere, unfortunately. Something I like is, I think I like leading Urshifu and just being like, deal with me, but Gholdengo is also similarly pretty strong for that. Like I can always get a trick off onto Iron Hands or something like that, which is cool. But Lando is pretty neat as well. I could just force a Tera as well with the Urshifu. I think I like Gholdengo a little better. It's not quite safe into Flutter main, honestly. I think getting a sub is just so high value for me here, though. Or a trick. It depends on if they lead Flutter main. I think I'm going to count on them leading Flutter main and go Lando, and these guys feel pretty good. I am not bringing a lot of Protect, unfortunately, but I think I do have a lot of natural bulk on these, but maybe Iron Bundle would have been a good bring. But Hearthflame Ogerpon feels like it's kind of bearing a lot of weight in this matchup, so I do need to be a little bit wary of that. And I didn't lead the Gholdengo because I just don't want to have to be forced to Tera turn 1 on that, which maybe was a mistake, but it's what I went for. I think Hands Cress is like a reasonably likely lead from them. Heatran Cress is a bit weird, but we'll take it. Yeah, that's kind of annoying. I could U-turn, Tera Fire the Cresselia. I doubt that knocks out, but it's probably pretty close. And I don't want them to ally switch. I think I'll go for Substitute and U-turn onto Cresselia. It's a little weird, like if they... Like, good lead from them, but they led kind of very weak to Urshifu in a way that's a little annoying because I could have just Wicked Blowed one of them. They protect Heatran, so that's good. That means I get a pretty free switch into one of my Pokemon. Yeah, so that's good damage. I don't know if Cresselia would have gone down. They are Rocky Helmet, interestingly enough. I just don't really have a solid switch in here, I don't think. Like, not a fantastic one. I think I want to Ivy Cudgel the Heatran and put it in Sucker Punch range. Yeah, I think I'm going to bring in Urshifu and potentially Sucker Punch, Ivy Cudgel, Tera Poison. Could be cool. But that might be a little greedy, honestly. Protect would be awesome in this situation. I think they're likely going to Moonblast Heat Wave here. I just don't tank hits very well. It maybe feels a little better to preserve this guy and switch in my Lando. I don't see that being super valuable in the late game. Well, if I can eliminate this Heatran, my Gholdengo goes off a little bit. Yeah. I think I will go for that. I think I'm going to go for Ivy Cudgel plus Sucker Punch. And I think this should knock out, but Heatran's pretty bulky. Yeah, that might live. They go for Heat Wave. Could have gone for a Tera Poison to survive a potential Moonblast, but I didn't want to commit my Tera that quickly. It is Moonblast, so we would have gotten a second Sucker Punch, but if Ivy Cudgel knocks out here, we should be okay. But I'm kind of doubting it based off that Sucker Punch damage. Oh, that's really annoying. Okay. That's super bad. Yeah, I could have... Maybe I should have just gone after the knockout on the Crest turn 1, because now we're in big trouble. Kind of. If I can knock out Heatran, I can beat the rest of the team, I think, potentially. I doubt it's going for... Let's look at our turns. Moonblast maybe chips me into Heat Wave range, I doubt it. Could go for Sub, Spiky Shield. I think I like Ivy Cudgel U-turn. Yeah, it's looking kind of bad. Yeah, we'll go for Ivy Cudgel U-turn instead of Protect, just because I don't think we really gain a whole lot. Oh, Heat Wave does a lot. Yikes, okay. They go for Lunar Blessing, so we'll knock them out with the Cudgel. But we're taking a ton of damage. They really took care of business on lead. If I had gone for the Tera, which I suppose I lost so much resources by preserving it, that just getting the Tera off would have been better for me. And now Cresselia's getting now chipped down a little bit more, but my HP is just so low that it's getting a little tricky for me, I think. So we do have Spiky Shield still on the board. They probably have to go Ursaluna or something, but they still have Tera, so that's worth noting. So there's the Living Legend in the shiny form. 2 turns of Trick Room left. Kind of yikes, but... See, the thing is they can kind of take a knockout any way they want. I think I'm going to go Tera, or switch here. Probably go... I'm going to switch into Lando and go for Tera, Steel, make it rain, I think. And try and live the Earthquake. If they have Headlong Rush, then we'll just get knocked out. But kind of at the point where we're banking on them not having things. Make it rain shouldn't knock out Cresselia unless they go for Tera Fairy for some reason. They are going for a Tera of some kind, though. Tera Ground Earthquake would be pretty smart. Oh, no, I'm the only one who Tera'd. Fair enough. So no Teras from them. If they don't knock out my Lando, I'll be pretty happy about that. SD, which I think definitely primes them for a double KO next turn, unfortunately. So how could I have punished that? I could have attacked this turn, but would have been pretty risky. You know what? I might actually have a chance to win the game. Oh, we crit the Cresselia. Okay. What I was going to say is I think we actually have a chance to win the game with Gholdengo on its own. I was planning to keep my Lando in and switch out my Ogerpon and just beat the Backmons with Abomasnow. I actually don't know if I beat that. So they're going to be taking damage, okay. think it's Earth Power on this one, so I might actually lose to it, truthfully. It's a good combo for them. I think, what am I going to do here? They don't Earthquake, they probably Facade the Lando. I think I just go maybe Stomping here and switch and hope they go for Tera wastefully. I don't know. They are probably going to get Aurora Veil up, which is an issue. Yeah. It kind of depends on the Abomasnow's moveset. If it goes for Aurora Veil here, getting defensive, that's a good play on their part, but they probably need to take a double knockout here. Breaking the mold with the Ogerpon. They go for Earthquake. They actually do target their own Abomasnow, which I think is a mistake. Yeah, they knock out my Ogerpon. And I hope they went for Aurora Veil. Blizzard, though. Fair enough. So we can't go for Thunderbolt or Shadow Ball. That just loses to their Ursaluna. But they notably did not go for Aurora Veil, which means even if they go for Tera Water on Abomasnow, I think we do kind of have the juice to outstall them. Even if they have Earth Power, I think we would still 2-hit KO them. Because Abomasnow isn't naturally that bulky. So yeah, they're going to go for a Tera of their own. But like I said, I don't think a resisted Tera will let them survive to make it rain Terrafire. Yeah, probably not. Now if they're Terrafire or Terra Blast, that'd be pretty cool. But usually they're Earth Power to cover for Heatran. They go for Protect, trying to maintain the spread type. Make it rain essentially, which is a good play. But I think because they didn't Aurora Veil, we should have the damage. It's gonna be close though. If we're Modest, I'd be pretty confident about it. Yeah, we get there. Let's go. So this was a pretty dicey battle. Ooh, a berry? Oh, that's pretty bad. Okay. Earth Power it is. Yeah, the berry might save them, actually. It's going to be a pretty close roll. Yikes, okay. Going to be a close one. Now we just have to go for it, though. Doesn't matter what Ursaluna goes for, we just have to get the KO. If we were Modest, we would definitely get it, but I think it's just... Oh, we do get it. Yeah, great game to my opponent. Yeah, the Trick Room, I think not preserving our Ursaluna ended up being a mistake just because of all that we did lose that turn. In terms of switching capabilities, we had to bring in a Lando, take a ton of damage there. Yeah. Good game to Orange Steve, though. The Gholdengo just being able to take it out, and I think that last roll was probably very, very close on the Make It Rain, so really close one. 2 back-to-backs where I think the margin of error was just very thin and it came down to damage rolls most likely. This time I don't think... I think the Poison Tera on the Urshifu that turn was debatable. We could have knocked out Heatran. Honestly, held on to our sub if we had like Spiky Shield, Tera Poison, close combated that turn. But didn't end up going for that. And they also just led very passively in a way I wasn't expecting. Like, I think they lose... If I lead Urshifu, they lose that game most of the time. But because I expected Flutter main and didn't want to lead too passively into that, I kind of got. Next one, we have a Tailwind team with Tornadus, Gholdengo, Urshifu, Rillaboom, Arcanine, and the Grimmsnarl. When I see Fire Water, I assume the Urshifu is... Or when I see Fire and Grass type Pokemon on the team, usually it's a Water type Pokemon, but I guess that's not true of our case. We have the Water, Fire, Grass, but no Rapid Strike Urshifu, but, you know, hard to tell. I do think their Torn's kind of annoying to the point that I want to lead my Gholdengo. But if they're... Yeah, this team's a little weak to Choice Scarf Urshifu, honestly. Now that I think about it, it's a little bit weak to that without Sunny Day on Torn. So... Ogerpon in the back kind of addresses that. I think Urshifu single strikes pretty strong here. And Iron Bundle's interesting, but I think Grassy Glide's a little scary to me. think I'll leave Lando on the bench, maybe against better judgment against the Arcanine, but I think we have the tools we need without Landorus. Because if they're like a Jolly Choice Scarf Urshifu, Landorus just can't Tera out of that and it just gets knocked out, so it's not going to provide a ton of value. But yeah, these Tailwind mirrors, when you don't have like a Bramblegast or a Choice Scarf Pokemon on your team that's like Choice Scarf Urshifu level of proactive, is kind of difficult. Torn Gold, baby. Okay. So interesting spot. If we force a Tera out of them, that's pretty good. I think knocking out their Torn seems pretty solid to me, while also stalling Tailwind a turn. Oh, we do probably have to... let's think. I'm not sure Gholdengo would actually knock out their Torn. It depends on their level of bulk investment. I suppose if I'm going for Tera Steel, I might as well just make it rain. Because I'm Tera Stealing defensively in the face of Shadow Ball. And we'll see, but I don't think it's like that consequential whether I knock out Torn this turn or not. And if I can get the extra damage onto the opposing Gholdengo, that'd be nice. But we do see that I Tera first, so if we wanted to, I could have maybe gone for Tailwind Shadow Ball if they don't Tera, which they do. Well, that was actually a really fast animation on the Tera, it felt like. But it's going to be the Tera Steel. Cool. So we're going to get Make It Rain off first. Or, I mean, after Tailwind they will, but we go for Protect. If they go for Protect too, that's going to be pretty funny. Oh, they go for Tailwind, sure, fair enough. One potential problem is if they... What are you going for? Shadow Ball? That's fine. If I don't knock them out here, then I won't get my Tailwind up. Ooh, that is modest, for sure. That did a lot of damage. I guess if they're Taunt, that's trouble. Ooh. They're probably Focus Sash, which is an issue. Okay, that's pretty bad, potentially. Yeah, I should have gone for a Tailwind of my own. Whoops. So Make It Rain was better than Thunderbolt, for sure. But now what do I do? With no Choice Scarf in the back, their Torn is looking pretty scary. If they have Taunt. But they don't go for it, so they went for Bleak Wind, just going for the knockout onto my Torn. Fair enough. If that misses Gholdengo, though... Yeah, that's the risk. Okay. Now we get our Make It Rain off and knock out their Tornadus and leave their Gholdengo with probably about 10 HP. Yeah, closer to like 15% than 10 HP. But yeah, even though our Tornadus is going down, I think this is actually favorable for us because our back two Pokemon will always beat Gholdengo. They're locked into Shadow Ball. Oh wait, they don't have Make It Rain, I'm silly. But yeah, they're in range for Bleak Wind Storm. Let's try to remember who they had in the back. It was things like Urshifu, yeah, like Urshifu, Rillaboom. Yeah, it was a pretty standard team. They had Urshifu, Rillaboom. I don't think there was a Flutter main. There's the Grimmsnarl and Torn Gholdengo. Yeah, I wish you could check in team preview, but you cannot. I think I like Ogerpon, because if they're Choice Scarf Urshifu, I can Scary Face Ivy Cudger them. Okay, it is not, unfortunately, but that's fine. They go for Intimidate, which is not great. We should outspeed the Arcanine and close combat it in the late game. We have a delayed Tailwind on them, and it's probably Urshifu in the back. So I think we go for Spiky Shield, Bleak Wind Storm. If they lock into Extreme Speed, I think that's okay. I think. Maybe not. No, it is. It should be good if they lock into Extreme Speed because I'll still have the Tailwind advantage and I should beat the Urshifu. I think. Yeah, they don't, so we knock out the Gholdengo, nice. And they're probably going for Rock Slide. We crit one of their Pokemon, but I believe Urshifu naturally outspeeds Arcanine Hisuian form. So it's probably gonna just depend. Rock Slide comes out. Looks like they might have missed. Yeah, they do miss Torn, which is unfortunate for them, but maybe would have been better if they had hit, honestly. We'll see. Oh, it is Single Strike. Okay. Well, I can just lock into Close Combat then. Which is probably banned between the two of us. Unfortunately, I can't Scary Face the Torn now. Or the... Yeah, this is a little tricky. I think Substitute probably is bad. Protect feels a little better on my Torn. Let's take stock of Tailwind. Yeah, they have one more turn. Yeah, I think I always just Ivy Cudgel Protect here. Yeah, maybe I should have double protected here and just let them take the damage on the Urshifu. But I wasn't quite sure. Okay, they Sucker Punched the Torn, so probably made the right call there. We Ivy Cudgel, breaking any Focus Sash potential. And Rock Slide comes out. Yeah. Let's see how this game closes out. Doesn't knock out Ogerpon, which is, I think, worse, actually, for me. That's really unfortunate. Now it might come down to a speed tie. Yeet, okay. Yeah, I think I Spiky Shield and go for Bleak Wind. Yeah, I kind of was trying to set my Torn to go down there, unfortunately. I could switch in my Urshifu here, be a bit aggressive on the Rock Slide. But if they make that read, that'd be kind of a disappointing way to lose. I think I'll Spiky Shield and... I'm tempted to switch, but I think I'll go for Bleak Wind. Like, it's potentially like medium gain, but very low risk. Or potential medium, yeah, like I said. Like very high risk, then we don't get a ton of reward if they don't Sucker Punch. So yeah. They do reveal that they're not the Choice Scarf or Choice Band on the Arcanine, which is good to know. But yeah, now I guess it depends on what their Urshifu item is. If they're Choice Band, I think we have this locked up. If not, I don't know. Let's see. If they're Choice Band, then we just have to win the speed tie and hit them with Close Combat. They're always going to Extreme Speed here. To knock out Urshifu, they'd have to probably Tera Fairy, which they can't go for. So yeah, I think Spiky Shield on potential Extreme Speed is good, and then just try and win the speed tie. They go for Extreme Speed, and they go for Sucker Punch. So they were probably Choice Banded, so I think we made the right call to Spiky Shield, partially covering for that. And just generally, yeah, if they're Choice Banded, then definitely the right to play, and just in case they're Extreme Speeding the Ogerpon, we get a little bit more chip. But we might have exposed ourselves to a Extreme Speed crit, in which case it was better to just attack the... let's look at that damage. I think we would hammer. We'd have to do... I don't think a crit would knock me out, but it'd be close. They don't even go for it, so... Ooh, the thought was we would live and then like play a Spiky Shield mind game, but we wouldn't have been able to actually play that out. And we do outspeed the Arcanine. I should check how the speed tiers line up, but I do believe Arcanine's maybe 95 base speed. I don't know about the Hisuian form, but Urshifu is I think 97 and we're at max speed, so able to take that win. Another really narrow one. This team's like definitely good, has some really strong ideas, but it does feel a little precarious against some common Tailwind composition, so definitely some room to iron it out. Okay, fun one against a Trick Room team. They have Armarouge, Indeedee, the Iron Hands, Sylveon, Urshifu, and Fluttermane. I think Tera Poison, Urshifu after the Psychic types are out, or the Yeah, after the Psychic type coverage is out of the field, it's going to be pretty solid. Earthquake on Lando could be pretty cool as well. Generally, I do like Substitute against these sort of teams as well. Their Wide Guard, that kind of changes things on the Armor Rouge side. I think Urshifu is a pretty safe play generally against them. I'm just going for Tera Poison. Rids the Sylveon lead weakness as well as some other things. If we... I think Substitute on Ogerpon could be pretty cool, but the worry is if they lead their Urshifu, we're in a bit of trouble. I think I'm just gonna go Gholdengo. Yeah, it's a little dicey, genuinely. Yeah, we timed out, so we brought the wrong Pokemon. I was in between Lando and Iron Bundle, and I just locked in Lando, and I think it should have been Bundle, tried to withdraw it, and now. I don't think we have a really good lead against Choice Band. I think we're actually kind of cooked if they go for that. Not quite. We did lead Double Protect plus Substitute, so we might actually be able to stall out some turns well. And then the third Pokemon on our team is Gholdengo, and then it's Urshifu, so it might actually not be the end of the world. And it is going to be Armor Rouge Iron Hands, interestingly enough. So, oh, okay. That was actually the lead we wanted, so that's good. Wicked Blow feels like a pretty safe knockout, and they have to get very aggressive to have a chance here. Yeah, Wicked Blow sub seems pretty strong, and who did I get in? It was Iron Bundle. Lando would have been better here, so my first instinct would have been right, but yeah, I think Wicked Blow sub feels good. They kind of have to fake out there, yeah. And we get the Substitute up. We'll have to switch out next turn, unfortunately, but that's not the end of the world. So Trick Room does go up. Kind of want to preserve the Ursh though. It's pretty strong generally. I don't know what their move here is. It could be... like Heat Wave, Drain Punch would be annoying. Yeah, it's a bit tricky, I'd say. So we don't have a ton of damage onto them just yet. And we don't really threaten their Armor Rouge just yet. And that's not quite true. I think we made a mistake last game by not being just straight up aggressive and getting after it. So I'm gonna... oh, I can't Sucker Punch because of the... yeah. I think Indeedee switch was pretty likely for them, but they didn't go for it. So I probably had a pretty free knockout that turn with Sucker Punch, Tera Poison, but not what happened, so could have gone up pretty big that turn. Yeah, there is the Heat Wave, so we get punished bad there. Gholdengo lives, which is kind of all we need, just a bit of HP. And we lose our sub, which is annoying. But we knock you down pretty low. Maybe in range, like definitely in range of Embody Aspect next turn. I think I'm just gonna Spiky Shield. But the issue is we're now low enough for Psychic Terrain to kind of just clean our clock out, which is a big deal. So we did get with the lead that we wanted, but it's kind of just not working out in our favor. Yeah, they're gonna Drain Punch, take a bit of chip damage, and that's fine, but I still feel a little like this isn't in our favor. I think they definitely took a huge risk not, unless they're Focus Ash, not protecting that turn. Or switching, rather not protecting, but switching in their Psychic Terrain. I really don't want to lock into Sucker Punch, but I might have to. How many turns of Trick Room left? 2 turns, so I did just waste my shield. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go for them not switching this turn for some reason. Yeah, Drain Punch just feels really safe from them, unfortunately. Yikes, okay. Weird spot. I'm gonna go for a double protect, I guess. There's not much else like... Yeah, they switched this turn. That's really frustrating. Okay. Yeah, it's hard to fight these Trick Room teams on ladder just because... Yeah, there's Indeedee. So I guess I could have attacked with my Urshifu. That's frustrating. I wanted to Tera Poison Wicked Blow that turn too, but I think it would have lost to Heat Wave. Yeah, it's just quite annoying. I had the Sucker Punch on the board and they gave it to me that turn, but not this one, but that's how it goes. So Drain Punch now. Okay, another Ogerpon doesn't knock me out, but I'm forced to switch out, which is a big deal. A very big deal. Okay. But if I had Wicked Blow there, we'd... Oh, I didn't Spiky Shield. Did I time out? That's actually a super favorable timeout, I think. Yeah, okay. That's funny. Yeah, now I'm just gonna Spiky Shield again. That timeout worked out super well. Because if I don't get that damage off, I don't think I can knock out the Indeedee in time to win. That actually puts me back in it just barely. But it's not totally done. Like, they can still lock this up if they have Flutter main in the back, I think. But yeah, Drain Punch is going to heal probably a little bit too much for me to deal with. Yeah, Drain Punch, healing a lot, but we have a bit of HP to survive that hit. But notably, they're out of range for a Tera Fire hit. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Twisted returns. I don't think I want to... I think I lose if I don't get the Ivy Cudgel crit onto the Iron Hands anyway, so I'm just going to go for that. Yeah, we'll see how much this does, but with no Adamant, no Sun, I'd expect this to live. Unless I crit. So we're going for it, but kind of not a good spot to be in. They really made good use of their Trick Room turns, and when I could have been taking knockouts, I was switching around, so a little peeved by that, but it is what it is. We get the attack boost, we get the fire type boost, and that's a little more than 50% HP. You know, I probably should have Icy Winded here. I feel like that's probably going to be just shy on the Ivy Cudgel, where an Icy Wind could have maybe gotten me there. But hard to say. Now I'm at a point where if Flutter main's in the back, I just lose straight up. Yeah, Icy Wind wouldn't have done enough, I don't think. But yeah, Drain Punch in the Iron Bundle. If they have Flutter main in the back, they just go for a Dazzling Gleam. Urshifu, similarly, if they're like Choice Scarf or something for a fast mode, they beat me that way. And we'll see what there are. If they're like Focus Sash Armarouge, similarly, they're going to get there. But yeah. Would have been nice to get that Sucker Punch early off in the game, but it of course would have been sacrificing the Urshifu's Tera. We'll see though. Who is that? That is going to be the Sylveon. Okay. That feels winnable. You would be what? Tera Fire on this or something? Have they Terra'd yet? They have not. Could be Tera Fire. I think we just cover that with Wicked Blow, Ivy Cudgel, I think. Can we do that? I don't think so. I think we... I think if we cover for it, we lose. Okay, we actually get them a fire boost, unfortunately. Which might seal it up. Okay, good play from them. But they are going for a Tera, so we did probably call that right. I think they're most likely Tera Fire or Tera Water, so they would have lived the hit. Yeah, Tera Water. So we could have gone for Wood Hammer, but they're just as likely to be Tera Water there. And it might live this Wicked Blow, honestly. Hard to say. And Psychic Terrain might be ending soon, so I'm not sure. Wicked Blow does knock out. Okay. Indeedee entered the field. I don't think it was 5 turns ago, so they won't be able to pressure me with anything this turn. Like Fake Out. So now I think it's just Wicked Blow the Armarouge and Ivy Cudgel that guy. And if they're Focus Sash, then they have to hit the Heat Wave and win. If I Wood Hammer, I might knock myself out, so I don't think I can go for that. Yeah, I think we just go for it. And if they're Focus Sash Armarouge the whole time, then they got us and we try and dodge a hit. But yeah, the Wicked Blow read. I'd be a little concerned on that actually being a consistent knockout, but Wicked Blow, no Focus Sash. Oh my goodness, I thought this game was lost for sure. But yeah, some kind of snappy targeting at the end there won it for us. Jeez, that was a close game. Urshifu Single Strike, like that's what I'm saying. Like Tera Water wouldn't have done the job there, like a Rapid Strike Urshifu, because all the Tera types are optimized to beat Tera Water Urshifu. So because we had the Single Strike one, we were able to go for our strongest move that wasn't close combat. That still knocks out Armarouge, and it was able to do neutral damage and knock out the physically frail Sylveon. So yeah, Choice Band Urshifu, it's definitely a little precarious against Trick Room teams because you feel like you have to commit your Tera, and it's just not strong defensively. But yeah, in this case, just proving to be worth it for us. All right, so ended 4-0 on the day, ended at 110 on the ladder. We're doing pretty well. We have like, what's our win-loss rate? We're 34-8, so a little over 4-1. So we don't quite have the massive games just because I'm trying to feature lots of the newer Pokemon that aren't actually legal on the ranked ladder right now. So, but I do think if we have a pretty good handle on this format. I think if we kept going, we could get to top 100, top 50, maybe even crack top 30 and get on the Liberty Note top 30 teams ranking at the end of the year, or end of the month. But yeah, I'm just going to be continuing to use the previous or the new Pokemon from the DLC in future videos. But I was really glad to take it back to ranked ladder, get some really competitive battles. I think all 4 of the battles were really close and really fun. So yeah, if you enjoyed that, if you enjoyed the team and want the rental code, I have that in the description of the video as well as the intro of the video. The pokepaste is in the description, and the creator's social media account is in the description below. With all that being said, if you enjoyed the videos, please subscribe to the channel, helps out a ton, and yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Peace, y'all.